student. Today we will discuss why drugs antagonizing prostaglandin relieves fever. Fever is perhaps the oldest and most universally known hallmark of disease. The pathogenesis of fever is summarized in the following slide, and there are several drugs which we know available in the market. They are used to reduce the fever. One example is aspirin group of drugs and also the non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. We want to know how these drugs they actually prevent the process of fever or causes the remission of fever. The toxins from the bacteria such as the endotoxins, it acts on the monocytes, macrophages, Kupffer cells to produce some cytokines. Especially what are those cytokines like interleukin 1 beta, interleukin 6, interferon beta, interferon gamma, tumor necrosing factor alpha or TNF alpha. These cytokines will be released as a result of endotoxin produced by the pyrogens. Now these cytokines they will be circulated in the blood, but all these cytokines they are polypeptide in nature, and it is unlikely that they will penetrate the blood-brain barrier, and they will penetrate the brain and it will act in the central nervous system, which has got the temperature regulatory center. So instead they act on some circumventricular organ known as OVLT or organum vasculosum of lamina terminalis. What is a circumventricular organ? We know that the organs or the parts of the brain which lies outside the blood-brain barrier. So when they will act on OVLT or this circumventricular organ, after that this will activate the preoptic area of the hypothalamus. So this is a OVLT. When it is stimulated, it will in turn stimulate the preoptic area of the hypothalamus. And here one point is important. Cytokines are also produced by the CNS cell itself, and they will directly act on this thermoregulatory areas. Now locally released prostaglandins in the hypothalamus, they will do what? They will actually raise the temperature set point of the hypothalamus or thermoregulatory center. We can see here in this thermoregulatory center of the hypothalamus, it actually maintains a homeostasis which maintain a narrow range of body temperature. And if this set point is raised, say from 90 degree Fahrenheit, it is raised to 100 degree Fahrenheit. So our body will try to do something so that body temperature can be reached up to this level. So there will be activation of heat producing mechanisms like shivering, vasoconstriction, etc., etc., until this 103 degree Fahrenheit temperature is reached and the fever sets in. So it is obvious that as locally released prostaglandin, it is raising the temperature set point, so its action has to be reduced. Action has to be blocked. This function is actually done by the aspirin or NSAIDs or non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. How? We know that from the membrane phospholipid with the help of phospholipase A, there is formation of arachidonic acid. Arachidonic acid can be metabolized into two pathways, cyclooxygenase pathway and the lipoxygenase pathway. In the cyclooxygenase pathway, there will be formation of prostaglandin, and these prostaglandins are raising the set point. So what will these aspirin and NSAIDs do? They will block these COX or cyclooxygenase enzyme. So local formation of prostaglandin will be inhibited, and that will inhibit the fever. So in this figure, it is clearly depicted that if the set point is again reduced with the help of blockage of prostaglandin, so we know that heat loss mechanisms like sweating, vasodilatation will set in until and unless temperature is reached to its previous value and there is remission of fever. Clearly explains why drugs antagonizing prostaglandin relieves fever. For the reference, you can take the Ganum 24th edition, chapter number 17. Thank you and subscribe.